Overcoming self-sabotage can feel like an endless uphill battle, as though you're standing in your own way despite knowing exactly where you want to go. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychologist known for his profound insights into human nature, offers us a unique lens through which we can understand and overcome this self-imposed obstacle. Jung's theories about the mind, the unconscious, and the shadow offer powerful tools to illuminate why we self-sabotage and how we can finally break free. Imagine this: you've set your sights on a new goal, maybe it's a career shift, a relationship you want to nurture, or a personal milestone. You have the drive, the motivation, and the roadmap to get there. But somewhere along the way, you find yourself delaying, doubting, or even derailing your own progress. Sound familiar? According to Jung, this cycle of self-sabotage often stems from parts of ourselves that we suppress, deny, or simply don't understand. Until you make the unconscious conscious, Jung famously said, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. This is where the real work begins, turning our inner saboteur from a foe into an ally. So why do we sabotage ourselves? Jung's theory of the shadow offers a striking explanation. The shadow, in Jung's view, is a part of our unconscious mind containing all the aspects of ourselves we don't want to acknowledge. This could be traits we dislike, emotions we repress, or even potential we're afraid of exploring. Over time, these suppressed parts create an inner conflict. When we set ambitious goals, it's often the shadow that whispers doubts, fuels insecurities, and triggers behaviors that undercut our success. Self-sabotage, in many ways, is the shadow trying to assert itself, to be recognized and to find expression. Jung believed that self-knowledge was the path to freedom. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. To overcome self-sabotage, we must dive into our own minds, embracing both the light and the dark. It's an uncomfortable truth, but one that leads to liberation. We have to be brave enough to confront those hidden parts of ourselves that we'd rather ignore, the jealousy, the fear, the self-doubt. Only by shining a light on these aspects can we begin to understand why they've been holding us back. Shadow work is one of the most effective tools for overcoming self-sabotage. This process involves identifying and confronting the parts of ourselves we'd rather keep hidden. For example, if you have a habit of procrastinating on projects that are important to you, shadow work would encourage you to ask why. What feelings come up when you think about completing the project? Is there fear of judgment, fear of failure, or even fear of success? Jung argued that our shadows carry parts of us that need healing, understanding, and integration. By facing them directly, we take away their power to sabotage our lives. Imagine someone who has a deep-seated fear of failure. Every time they approach a new opportunity, they find themselves procrastinating, giving up, or making excuses. From the outside, it looks like laziness or lack of commitment, but in reality, it's the shadow at work. That fear of failure, hidden in the unconscious, creates a narrative that it's safer not to try at all than to risk failing. Jung would urge this person to confront their shadow, to see that this fear of failure is just one part of them, not their entire identity. Once acknowledged, the fear loses its grip, and the individual gains the freedom to act without self-sabotage. Jung's approach to self-sabotage also involves embracing paradox. He said, "The paradox is one of our most valuable spiritual possessions. Only the paradox comes anywhere near to comprehending the fullness of life." Often, we self-sabotage because we struggle with conflicting desires. We want success, but fear the responsibilities that come with it. We crave intimacy, but fear vulnerability. By accepting that these opposing forces can coexist within us, we become more self-compassionate, recognizing that our struggles are a natural part of the human experience. This compassionate view allows us to stop fighting ourselves and instead create a path forward where we can accommodate both sides of our nature. Another powerful tool Jung gives us is individuation, the process of becoming whole. Individuation is about integrating all aspects of ourselves, including those we've suppressed or denied. Through individuation, we come to accept our complexity, seeing that our strengths and weaknesses are interconnected. Self-sabotage often arises when we reject certain parts of ourselves. Perhaps we fear our ambition, believing it will make us arrogant, or we distrust our own power, thinking it will isolate us from others. Individuation teaches us to reclaim these qualities, recognizing that they don't define us, but are simply facets of who we are. In practical terms, Jung's insights encourage us to adopt daily practices that keep us aware of our shadow. Journaling, meditation, and introspection can reveal patterns of self-sabotage and help us understand their roots. Through these practices, we give our shadow a voice, allowing it to express itself in safe, constructive ways, rather than through destructive behavior. By asking ourselves questions like, "What am I afraid of?" or "What part of me is holding back?" we can uncover the unconscious beliefs driving our actions. Breaking free from self-sabotage isn't an easy journey, but it's one of the most rewarding. Jung's wisdom teaches us that the greatest growth lies in facing what we fear most. As he said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." By confronting our shadows, we step into a fuller version of ourselves, one that isn't held back by fear, doubt, or unconscious resistance. We gain the clarity, strength, and self-acceptance needed to pursue our goals without hesitation. In the end, overcoming self-sabotage isn't about becoming perfect. It's about embracing our humanity in all its complexity, understanding that even our most challenging parts have something to teach us. As we walk this path, guided by Jung's insights, we find that the barriers we once thought were external were really just parts of ourselves waiting to be understood, accepted, and transformed. The journey may be difficult, but the reward is a life lived with purpose, authenticity, and unshakable inner peace.